In the Western world, when a black man has established a sense of education, of firm ground, of knowledge, and has actually risen amongst the white power structure, there comes a time where these black people seek the necessary human conditions, particularly revolving around finding a sense of family for themselves. You will find that amongst the many black masses that rise, the main thing that you will always see a common ground with is the fact that these black people are usually limited by the amount of people within their own community or within the black masses who can actually accommodate on a marriage level, on a family level. The black people are always singled out and labeled when they break past the stereotype of America and of their black families and households, which have, as a majority, have been struggling yet complacent on the low income status that the white America has created for them today. And during this time, it is very important for black people to know this. Okay, in particular, specifically if you are in the white American world, the truth is you are not going to escape white people. It doesn't matter where you go, okay? White people have sporadically become populous within the Western Hemisphere. And the other sad truth is you are very unlikely to find a black person who can compete on your level and can actually support and bring you up. Now, the key word I want you to point out is find. That implies that you are looking within the top barrier or the middle class barrier for an independent black person who opposes white beliefs and who is grounded in their blackness. Now, if you've met somebody in your childhood, or you have a long-term person who you have established well, good for you. I really do honestly hope the best. I know many black people who have, and I simply just want to commend that situation. But however, I will say that as black people grow older, there's a tendency to lose track and to lose focus of being black, of actually prioritizing black culture, of prioritizing love for other black people. And this is only by design that the Western world has created. The inability for most black people to actually rise and to actually pursue a life of their own beyond the shackles that white America has systematically indoctrinated has only shown these black people that there is a supremacy, idealistic belief that even black people who work their way to the middle class, and perhaps even black people in general, are typically adopted into based on their intelligence, based on their foundation. And often as a result of this quote-unquote adoption, which is really just another way for white people to try and colonize the wealth and the knowledge of the black people, which they remain void of. You will find that as a black man, the ability to relate to other black people is very, very difficult, particularly within the pursuits towards achieving something meaningful within the Western world. And I do want to say this, just to give this a little bit more consideration and attention. I am 99% confident that your exposure amongst climbing as a black person and having exposure to white culture, to Asian culture, to the other cultures who are also within that risen bracket, I am confident that if your inability to understand yourself as a black man remains a problem for you, you are in a dangerous position. The white people are way too intelligent to let a foreigner, an outsider, come through and infiltrate their white power structure, which they have solely isolated for whites. The white people are way too intelligent to permit a black person to walk down their streets and dine in their restaurants, knowing the dominant genes that a black man naturally has, to walk down those streets and be perceived by white women and perhaps even adored for various reasons. The white people who control the white economy, I will promise you, and you have to believe me, they will not accept your blackness. So it doesn't matter even how much you ground yourself within the black economy. If you think that you can squeeze yourself into a white school or white system and cater yourself to a white life, it's not going to happen. At least it's not going to happen without you being completely stressed, oppressed, being put into a deep psychological pressure, without you being convinced that you should be systematically driven out. It's not going to happen. I'm not disputing the fact that a white person cannot love a black person. You'll actually find there are many white people around the world who actually do have that admiration for black culture, who actually do have that appreciation for the black struggle. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know that that white person is not outnumbering the millions that remain systematically in belief that they are above black people, that black people have no rights, and certainly do not want to see the day that black people produce mixed race children with their queen on the chessboard, if I must say. And this is where it gets really complicated. This is seriously where the realization comes, because it puts you in a stress hold. You could be in a very good relationship right now with a white person. Again, I'm not disputing this down to you, and I'm not disputing this down to the particular white person. I'm just letting you know that what they're carrying behind them is nothing but years of pain that has been inflicted amongst black people, nothing but oppression. If you're ready to not sleep at night, right? If you're ready to have your guard up 24/7, if you're ready to fight on your life like you're playing Battlefield 6, congratulations, and I wish you the best, and I'm not stopping your move. However, I am being realistic when I do talk about black and white relationships. They have never worked out. They have sadly not worked out through history. Okay, anybody who comes from Africa could tell you that, and you will rarely find an African mingling with white America, knowing the attempt that white people have made on Africa to colonize the wealth and the resources. Okay, you will, until this day, I'm telling you right now, 99% of the black and white couples I see and that I know are in deep torment, particularly from the white side. Okay, you're setting yourself up for a very dangerous life. And again, this is all I will say, just not to sound so pessimistic. If you two love each other, if there's a common ground, if you're genuinely fighting for each other daily, which, keep in mind, I do not actually know white people or white women who are actually fighting as actively as black people for the black cause. Not to say they don't exist, but if you found yourself in that position where there's fight and there's actually a ground, and despite the storms and the storms, well done, congratulations. And I really do hope that you achieve the best out of your situation. I just want to open up your mind and your lens to the fact that there will be struggle. It will hurt. You're gonna receive a lot of damage. You'll receive damage for trying to be white, and you will certainly receive damage for the natural state of your blackness. This is just the truth. And this is the only way that you can really understand how to maneuver around the situation. Not to let me disrupt your decision making, but to just acknowledge what's going on. The racism hasn't stopped, okay? I don't care what law has been passed. I don't care what TV advertisements, what movements you see. These are nothing but money grabs for the white people. That's just all you should know. Okay, it still goes on, and it's still prevalent. And if you remain blind to the fact that these acts and these doctrines still persist, you're setting yourself up for a very harsh life. And the sad thing is, the level is at a point where you think of yourself as a video game character. You may have been able to deal with your four black members in your family household, but now you're a video game character with your own foundation against a power structure of millions who are coming for you in a single wave. And you want to tell me that it's humanly possible, or should I say that it's healthy to take on that challenge? You need to reconsider your role. You need to reconsider your life. Again, not to throw you off, not to take you away from your love. If there's genuine love between you two, I'm actually very, very excited to see how that unfolds. I've just personally seen how it unfolds, and typically there's a lot of pain, right? There is pain. The white people are too sensitive towards their whiteness. It's the only thing they have. It's that there's nothing else that they have to their name, but other than the fact that they need to use their white label as an excuse to override laws and to override groups of people, to make themselves feel like that their status is being maintained. Besides that, there's nothing really to understand beyond what I'm saying, which is just the truth. And once you realize the truth, my hope isn't to discourage you, but to help you to develop an effective plan, to help you develop a strategy, to help you develop a procedure, to help you develop a maneuver, to help you develop a method, a cause, and an effective strategy to kind of work around this issue. Where obviously I understand, listen, as a black person, you're doing what you have to do to survive in the Western world. However, the reality is there are not many, and I should say less than 1% of the top earners would be black. Less than 1% of the people you'll run into will be black. Okay, so if you're looking to find black unity there, and perhaps if you found black unity, good for you. However, the struggle is real. The struggle is real.